starts now. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Frank Malloy. Georgia prosecutors are split on supporting at least 3 bills currently pending under the Gold Dome in Atlanta. If they pass, the legislation would create an 8-person oversight commission with the power to discipline or remove district attorneys or solicitors-general. Ashlyn Webb joins us in studio with more on who's supporting the bill and who's not, and why the bill is moving forward.
Frank, opponents say the bill is targeted toward Democrat prosecutors, particularly the Fulton County DA, who is investigating former President Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. But the sponsors argue oversight is needed after 2 major cases involving Republican DAs. Former Paulding DA Dick Donovan was indicted in 2021 on charges including bribery and violation of oath by a public officer. Then the former Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson was charged with meddling in the investigation into the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Now, at least 20 Georgia district attorneys, all of them Republicans, have backed the idea of oversight.
When someone, a district attorney who's supposed to be a pillar of the community, misbehaves, and unfortunately that happens from time to time, I think it's not a bad idea to have a mechanism to hold them in check.
Okmulgee District Attorney T. Wright Barksdale signed off on this letter sent to the sponsors of the bills. Barksdale joins at least 2 other DAs in Central Georgia, DA Tim Vaughn in the Oconee Circuit and Bryce Johnson in the Tipton Judicial Circuit, who support the bill. According to the proposal, this commission would determine if a DA should face discipline if they're found to have mental or physical incapacity and willful and persistent failure to carry out duties, or if they're convicted of a crime of, quote, moral turpitude.
I mean, what we're talking about here is if a district attorney is arrested for a felony offense or a crime of moral turpitude, or making decisions on cases because they have a financial interest or undue bias. I don't really understand why anybody would be against that.
Several Democratic district attorneys have spoken out against the legislation, including Macon DA Anita Howard. In a statement to 13 WMAZ, Howard says lawmakers are trying to, quote, bully prosecutors. She added politics have no business in courtrooms. So who would be on this commission to decide if a DA is disciplined? This is where the bills differ. The House version would allow the Georgia Supreme Court to appoint all 8. The Senate version allows various offices to select members. The law requires the panel be made up of such as former DAs or solicitor generals to former assistant DAs and members appointed by the legislature and the lieutenant governor. Frank, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ashley. Another bill that passed the House and now heads to the Senate reduces the number of voters needed to recall a district attorney.